of course, like I said, we dropped a new single today called The Cypher, and I posted something about my actually, well, I'll give you a preview of the song here, and then just so you can see what the full artwork looks like. So that's the full artwork right there. And the caption reads, "The Cypher featuring Jay Riley, Shorty Doo-Wop, and Lord Sanctus is finally streaming worldwide on all platforms. And y'all don't understand, y'all. We recorded this shit at the Apple Farm, and we almost got kicked out because our neighbor was being a goddamn hater of the highest order." And I'm serious when I say that. Like, anytime we came out of the room, he was like lifting up the curtains, looking at us. We weren't even that loud, yo. It was in the daytime. It wasn't late at night. Like, he was just tripping, yo. He was a full-on Karen, 100%. I don't think he could handle the bars. But anyways, the rest of the caption reads, "We put in work for this one, so add it to your libraries and playlists. Get yourself an official t-shirt, hoodie, sweater, or water bottle." We do have water bottles now, so you can get those as well that say The Cypher, and get them while supplies last. And we've been getting love in the comments all day. Brian Coxon Art, Woozy Villa, shout out to him, who's a spitter himself. OGT, who shows love. So go give that post some love, which is right now it's like the second to last post on our feed. And then I dropped my verse for this, and we'll listen to that in closing. And it got a lot of love. The caption reads, "Lord Saint Light Work. If you dig it, stream The Cypher featuring Jay Riley, Shorty Doo-Wop, and Lord Sanctus on all platforms, and get an official The Cypher t-shirt from CTC Apparel." Shout out to everybody that's been showing me love on this joint all day. Crazy P1P3 with the Flames, Central Coast Student Coalition with the Flames, 22 Rel, Jordan Madero says, "Damn, this goes hard. Overachiever, I'm getting head from multiple divas." I mean, yo, I be trying. Brett Harvell says, "First rapper to drop a Y-Files bar." Yo, I love people that know what the Y-Files is. That's like one of my favorite YouTube channels. So shout out to that. Oh, Sean Riggs hopped in the chat. That's a vibe. Sean Riggs is a dope-ass actor. That's my homie right there. I'm going to go ahead and have to reply back to him on that one. But shout out to Sean Riggs. And Lex Jackson, shout out to you as well. Let's check it out. I think it's about to recycle, so I'm going to let y'all hear it right after that. And then we'll get up out of here.
Like me is intimidating. I'm nothing like them other MCs y'all be imitating. Screaming death to all the enemies we eliminating. If they hating on the plug, you know they discriminating. That's facts, nigga. How many rappers have I melted over wax, nigga? It's Meek Millie versus Drizzy back to back, nigga. I got no patience for a rat, nigga. I'm like the do-rag under all y'all cap. Yeah, it's a rap, nigga. I bet my stack's bigger, 200K from the ether. I'm in the metaverse, I'm making way more than my teachers.
Oh shit, I see the name Uno in the chat. He says, "We play harder ball." Studio Eden says, "Hey yo, wish I could make it out to that." The name Uno says, "Your shit never come up on my shit." Same, bro. I that's why I could never be mad, because
I earn my stripes like a zebra. It's black and white, but this ain't jungle fever. Puffin' sativa, it's a hybrid. I'm flying high on autopilot with heavy eyelids. Just look what I did. Came to God at 305 miles. A place with big titties, badasses, and bright smiles. I feel like MJ because the kid isn't my child. My life is so wild, it should be on the Y-Files, nigga.
yes, sir. So that joint is called The Cypher. Wait, let me make sure the mic is on. Yeah, that joint is called The Cypher. It's available now worldwide on all streaming platforms. It's taken a long time to put that song out. We worked really hard on it. There's been like 25 different versions of that song that I had to mix to get it out there. And just at he said, "I'll make a vet come out." Guns and butter, baby. This Friday will be at BA Start, the bar, arcade bar downtown. Cool. I don't want to talk about this too long, but I do want to bring it up because people be asking for this kind of attention, and I want to make sure I give them what they asked for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about giving the people what they want, and so this apparently is what this guy wants. So I'm gonna give it to him. You know what I'm saying? Voice of SM says troll hunting. Damn, which dick eating anti CTC hater is bugging now? You know what? I can't even say that this guy is anti CTC. I think he's actually anti the whole coast, honestly, and he's from the coast, which is not weird. I think that's actually pretty normal. People from the coast being against the coast, but he's someone, I don't really know who he is. Maybe I do, but he's always in my comment. Not always, but anytime he does hop in the comments, he has nothing positive to say, and then he acts like everybody does what he does when he's the only one that really does that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's really weird projection. But I had posted this about Demiza posted Demiza, who, if you don't know, he's a producer from Santa Barbara who's done really, really big things for hip hop. Like he worked with Nate Dogg. I think he's responsible for Shade Shiest. I don't know if that's big for hip hop, but he did do big things for Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg. A lot of big things at radio. A lot of shit for the West Coast. He's a legend. He's a legendary producer, legendary radio host. And he's back on the coast. He's back out here on the coast, and he's been going crazy, posting content, posting stories about things he's experienced in his life, giving advice to artists, giving advice to radio DJs. And so he posted one of his pieces of content that I decided to react to. Let me go ahead and reset it, and I'll play what he said, and I'll play my reaction, and then I'll get into the troll hunting.
DJ Khaled thing. I finished up one record last night that I vocal produced. I didn't do the beats on these. There's one, I'm not going to say any names of any of the people that I'm working with yet. But a mega producer buddy of mine gave me a song last night, just an unreleased that he had. So, I mean, this is going to be great. I haven't shopped a deal. I haven't done anything.
Order in the court.
I'm going to do this grassroots organically from the bottom, like I was an independent artist just starting out.
Then that means the question is, are you going to let artists from the coast submit music for this project? We need an answer, Demiza. What's good?
So the Demiza Presents process has begun.
Cool. So there it is. So Demiza Presents part 2. Basically, he's putting together a DJ Khaled type project with all of his contacts, all of his producer homies, and he's tapped in the producer world to all the best producers. He's going to put together a project and shop it like he's an independent artist, but he has major label connections. And so my question was, are you going to include any artists from the coast, especially black artists from the coast? Because I know he taps in with artists on the coast, but they usually tend to be Latin. But there's obviously I don't even care if it's me, but there's tons of Latin artists that he's ignoring, or whether maybe ignoring is too strong of a word. Maybe he doesn't know about them, like Shorty Doo-Wop and others. And then he also, I haven't seen him tap in with no local black artists. You know what I'm saying? So that's my question to him, respectfully. But then some sucker ass, hoe ass nigga hopped in the comments talking reckless. So my caption was, should Demiza allow artists from the coast to submit music from his new project? King Trip said Demiza been fucking with the coast, which is true because Demiza actually, I saw Demiza in the studio with King Trip, and that fully counts as my guy. That fully counts. And then Rare Breed 805 says my guy Miz. So, you know, people are paying attention. But this guy, Hugh_.lgh, is always in the comments talking shit for some reason. So he added King Trip, and he said, what artist has he put on? And so I went on to say, and first of all, mind you, this guy turned off his, so you can't reply to him. If you at him, then it erases the comment. You're not allowed to at him. So I hate sensitive trolls, first of all. Like, they're the worst. They're the worst kind of trolls, are the sensitive ones that want to have their opinion out in the world but don't want to get bothered by your opinion, so they turn off their ats. That's some whole shit. But so I replied to him without adding him because I couldn't. I said, I hate when people ask questions that you can't respond to because I couldn't at him. But I said, I don't know about put on. I don't know what put on means, but I've seen Demiza rock with TMK 100K, Emmanuel Sings, Lil Bam, King Trip, Oxnard Pugs, Lil Bones, and a few others. I haven't seen him rock with no black MCs from the coast yet, but I'm sure it's coming. And I put hopefully in parentheses. And then Hugh responded to me. I want to say Hugh, but H.LGH responded to me by saying, doing events with someone is not the same thing as giving them airplay or putting them on your record. I'm talking about on Shade Shice level. When most people make it out the Central Coast, they leave and never come back, but don't blame them. So this guy is obviously bitter towards the coast because he's always talking about how people leave the coast and never come back, or how the coast is never going to be on. Like, that's all he ever has to say. And so my thing is, like, I was not talking about giving us airtime. I'm talking specifically about the Mizza Presents. You feel what I'm saying? You go into left field talking about some shit nobody but you is talking about. Nobody's asking for airtime. Nobody's asking to get put on Shade Shice level. My question solely is, will 805 artists get a chance to submit to the Mizza Presents? That's it. So I don't know what you're talking about. So I responded saying, you're the only one talking about shows. I'm talking about records, but you'd have to actually participate and pay attention to the coast to know that. You constantly hating doesn't count as paying attention. And then he says, sir, I'm from Lompoc and y'all hate on each other. That's why your scene hasn't blow up yet. Notice that he says I'm from Lompoc, but he calls it my scene, which indicates that he doesn't think he's from the scene. He wants to have some sort of say in what happens with the scene. He wants to give his opinion about the scene, but based on how he refers to it, he clearly doesn't see himself as a part of it. So why you speaking on business that you don't have nothing to do with, man? Shut your whole ass up and make some drums, Metro. Shut up. So I said, on the contrary, you're usually the only negative one in my comments. Don't put that on us, because there is no us doing this. It's only you. And then he says, I'm rarely in y'all local business. I moved on from that place. Hustle on 0 too. And then I said, but every time you are in the comments, you don't have anything positive to say, just like now. The only hater I see is you. So again, shut your whole ass up and go make some drums. And then all he had to say back was an emoji, because that nigga Uno said, hey, ask him his credit score. I am done with this shit. Yo, I can't, man. You know what he really needs to do?
Let that coochie breathe.
That's what he needs to do. He needs to let that coochie breathe, man. His pussy is just, it's moldy. It's all moldy and crusty. You know what I'm saying? He needs to
let that coochie breathe
and get the fuck up out my comments and go make some drums, nigga. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And like, for me, I ain't finna. It ain't an argument. Well, I guess it is an argument. I had time for that nigga today. But to me, like, when we talking about the coast, especially like if you are somebody who only constantly hates on the coast, you have nothing positive to say, you don't consider yourself part of the scene, you clearly don't believe in the scene, then shut up. Shut your whole ass up and go make some drums. You know what I'm saying? Like, your opinion does not matter, period. End of story. Like, motherfuckers outside are crazy. I don't know what that shit is about, man. I don't like it though. But let him take this however he wants to take it. If you want to add to the commentary, you can find this Demiza post on my personal Instagram. That's Lord of the Sanctus. You can go add your commentary as well. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you could take his side, but I don't feel like I'm wrong. But let me know. The name Uno says he got black Sheikah on and black skull cap with no branding. We know his credit score, 300 or low. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to keep it about the coast. But if you want to go comment that, Uno, by all means, go comment that. You feel what I'm saying? And let's get straight into this. If you want to add to the commentary, you can find this Demiza post on my personal Instagram. That's Lord of the Sanctus. You can go add your commentary as well. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you could take his side, but I don't feel like I'm wrong. But let me know. The name Uno says he got black Sheikah on and black skull cap with no branding. We know his credit score, 300 or low. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to keep it about the coast. But if you want to go comment that, Uno, by all means, go comment that. You feel what I'm saying? And let's get straight into this Drake shit without further ado. Since we on some that type of time, we on some beef energy, we on that type of time. Let's get into this. Let's get into this Drake. Oh, he said Shaka. I was like, what is Sheikah? Shaka. Okay, for sure. So if you haven't been paying attention, Drake responded to Kendrick. So Kendrick set this whole thing off on Metro and Future's album called We Don't Trust You. Kendrick dropped a verse dissing Drake. J. Cole responded and then immediately retracted his response and said, I'm sorry. And then Drake came back and just dissed everybody, kind of including J. Cole for a... Excuse me. Actually, I don't think he dissed J. Cole. He just said, I don't agree with J. Cole, because J. Cole, when he retracted and apologized to Kendrick, he was like, I think Kendrick is one of the greatest. I think that verse was a bazooka. And Drake was kind of like, I don't care what Cole says. That shit was trash. I don't fuck with it. It's whack. And Drake went crazy on this response. And so after Drake responded, Rick Ross jumped into the whole mix and responded, dropped a response as well, and has been going crazy. And now the whole internet is set on fire, talking about basically this whole battle, right? And so we talked about J. Cole's response already. I talked about Kendrick's initial diss, but let's get into the GOAT.
Order in the court.
So I would play this shit. I would play. Ooh, and it keeps developing as we're live, right? So there's just all these things that are happening. Rick Ross keeps trolling Drake. You can go look up those trolls. But today, Metro Boomin dropped a leaked Drake verse from on a Lil Yachty song in response to Drake telling him to shut his whole ass up and go make some drums. So let's see what Drake said in that response, and then I'll give you my full take about this shit. If you've been following the battle, let me know what you think in the chat, and I'll definitely get to those chats as I'm giving my take on it. The name Uno says, send me that on IG. I'm talking. I got you. I'll send you that link. Mercado says he took it off streaming platforms. Yeah, J. Cole took his diss off of streaming platforms. He felt that bad about it, which I'm not surprised by. I don't even know why he responded or hopped into it. We knew he was not built for this kind of life. So I don't even know why he did that. But let's check out Drake's response to Metro leaking his verse, and then I'll tell you my overall thoughts about Drake's track, and I want to hear yours too. This is Urban Politicians out of Houston, Texas. He does a lot of hip-hop news. For those that don't know, go give him a follow.
It is what it is.
Yachty sound like he's spitting though. Yo, we gonna talk about that too, yo. We gonna talk about that shit. I'm gonna fast forward this because I'm... This is Metro's response, I think. Stop.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of
that was
TV.
That was Drake's response to
Make
Metro.
sure you
I'm
stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in as the saga continues with the energy of 2024. And if you've been tapped into the channel before, you'd have heard me speak on how the Triple C's have been having major motion with everything going online since the year started. Controversy, chaos, conflict, confusion, and conversation have most definitely transpired into the conversation when we talking about Drake and his issues and problems with different artists and producers going on in the industry. As today, we had another diss record touch online, and people are debating right now if that's an AI track or not, and we'll get into that later. But as well, a reference track came out for Jumbotron Is Poppin', where y'all heard right there in the beginning. I couldn't play the song in full. That was a reference track from Lil Yachty and everything. Well, big blogs started to pick it up, and then they started saying online that it came from Metro Boomin. That started touching everywhere that he put it out as. Here's somebody that is centered in this beef as well. They haven't fully came out and said it yet, but it's one of the underlying conversations in the game.
Got you. Okay, so I'm fully caught up. So basically, Metro released a reference track of Lil Yachty rapping Drake's verse on Jumbo Shit Poppin', basically saying that Drake needs writers in order to pop off, which I can't believe we're still having this conversation in 2024. The name Uno, I see you. He says, I really like that song, but Yachty shit sound like AI. So let's talk about this, yo. First of all, let's take it back to what do I think about Drake's response. What do I think about Drake's response to Kendrick? I think that I don't want to hear shit about Kendrick Lamar being better than Drake no more. I don't want to hear that shit no more. Like, Drake wiped this nigga down and then wiped him back up like a dirty ass crack. No Diddy, my nigga. Like, this shit is the first fucking line is so crazy that the first line is like the first line. Drake said, I handed you your first number one. Everybody says he's talking to Future because Future's first number one was I'm Too Sexy with Drake. But I also think he's talking to Kendrick in that because I think Kendrick's first number one was fucking Problems. I think that's Kendrick's first number one. So in one line, this nigga served two rappers and it's all facts. Like, song over after that first line, but let's go through it, right? Like, that line to me just killed me off. Like, I had to just repeat that one line and I hadn't even gotten to the song yet. That shit is crazy. Then let's talk about, and Rocky too. So he served three rappers in one bar. That's crazy. And four. Uno, thank you for correcting, because I forgot Rocky was even on that song. And then I think he gave Ross his first number one too. So like, the fact that in one line he served four niggas and it was y'all didn't exist on the charts without me. Like, what are we talking about? Crazy. That's a crazy bar. But then and I said that's the first line of the song. Then this nigga, the next bar that he really gives on some industry shit, he serves Kendrick up. First of all, when he says, how you big stepping with a size 7 men's on, that's a bar to me. It's not one of the deepest bars, but that shit is a bar because Kendrick is little, and he says he's with Big Steppers, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. How you big stepping with a size 7 men's on? Bar. This was something that I always wondered about, right? This was something that never really resonated with me well with Kendrick. I didn't like it, is that Kendrick talks all of this black unity, uplift the black community shit, which I believe that he believes, and I believe he's about that shit. I'm not questioning his commitment to the black community. But it always seemed weird to me that when he did his major features, it was always with white artists. It was always with like Taylor Swift and Imagine Dragons and just weird shit like that. You know what I'm saying? With like, ain't nobody asking for these records. Ain't nobody asking for a Kendrick Lamar Imagine Dragons or a Kendrick Lamar Maroon 5 collab. Ain't nobody asking for that. Why would you do that, right? Drake is insinuating. So the title of this song, first of all, I didn't tell y'all. The title of this song is called Drop and Give Me 50. And it's a play on words because there's a social media video of Kendrick outside of the prison yard, and he's doing his workout routine, and he has like adopted a prison workout regimen, and he's outside doing push-ups. And so it's a play on that, but what it really means is that when Kendrick Lamar can't drop music without Top's approval, Top Dog, and when he drops music, he has to give Top Dog 50% of that music. You feel what I'm saying? So Uno says 50 push-ups and 50-50 split with Punch no matter what. And that's why Kendrick wanted to get off of TDE, because he's giving 50-50 to Punch no matter what. And so Drake is saying every time you drop, you got to give Punch 50. And so that's the hook. Drop and give me 50. Drop and give me 50. When Punch say drop, you better drop and give him 50. And he still has to give him 50, Uno says. Like, so Drake's whole thing is he's getting extorted. In that first verse, he also says, the way you doing, I gotta check you getting extorted in your contract. I gotta check your splits. The way you doing splits, shit, your pants might rip. And if you in the music industry, every time you do a song with somebody else, every time you do a song, you got to break down the splits. You got to say, okay, the label gets this much publishing, my manager or my A&R gets this much publishing, the producer gets this much publishing. I'm sorry, not the label get publishing, but the label owns this part of the master. You have to split up the song. And so Drake is telling Kendrick, the way you split up the song, you ain't getting none of the money. So the way you doing your splits, your pants might rip. Like Drake's cleverness is out of this world to me. Like the way he's clever, the way he attacks, he's just so much more savvy. He's so much more intelligent than these rappers that he's rapping against, that it's not even really, to me, a question of who's better. I think that the fact that I just think people don't like Drake. And I think the hardest bar that the hardest and the most relevant bar of the song is the one, to me, that's been skipped over the most. Uno says, even with his new deal, that was to get out of the deal. So Uno is saying, even with Kendrick's new deal, Kendrick still has to give Top a 50-50 split, which is that, if that's true, that makes this shit an ultra bar, an ultra bar. It makes the hook a bar, like drop and give me 50. That's crazy. But I think the most overlooked bar of this song is he says something like, this ain't shit, your ass ain't shit. I don't know those two lines, but then the next line he says, they make excuses for you because they hate to see me lit. That, to me, is the most relevant, most hardest bar that he dropped in the song. Because why? As soon as that track came out, Drake is so good that the first thing everybody said is, this got to be AI. This got to be AI. They didn't even want to give nigga credit. They didn't even want to give that nigga credit for this shit, because they want to make all the excuses in the world for Kendrick, because they just don't like Drake. They just don't want to see Drake lit. So they're going to make all the excuses in the world for Kendrick or for everybody else. Oh, this is AI. Oh, he has a ghostwriter. Oh, he's light-skinned and he's sensitive. He's not built for that shit. Oh, I just don't like this shit. When niggas go crazy over Kendrick's mid-ass verse. Kendrick's verse was mid as fuck. If you're being honest with yourself, if you actually like rap and not just controversy, then you got to admit that Kendrick's verse was mid. I think Kendrick's shit was more mid than J. Cole's shit. But like, let me see. Uno says, and niggas don't realize AI is still a nigga writing it. So y'all really think some random nigga knows all that about That's what I'm saying. Like, I know AI. I know AI. Like, I work in AI. I'm familiar with AI. And like, fucking, AI ain't just gonna pull out these random facts. AI is not that complicated, and there are not that many talented rappers who know how to train vocal models and then rap like Drake. I think there's a small pool of people who know how to do that. There's a very small pool of people who know how to do that, and the ones that do, I don't think are spending their time doing that. Uno says, cap. What's cap? And let me know what's cap. If you're talking about they make excuses for you because they hate to see me lit, that's not cap. That, to me, that shit is a bar among bars, because that's all niggas is out here doing, is making excuses for Kendrick because they hate to see Drake lit. They don't want to see Drake on top. Niggas don't like Drake. I don't know why, but niggas don't like Drake. Regardless of how you, like, I don't dislike Kendrick, right? Like, I don't dislike Kendrick at all. But I do like Drake. But just because I dislike Kendrick, I'm not going to say, like, if Kendrick does something that's fire, if he does something that's dope, I will admit that it's fire. But because niggas dislike Drake, even if he does something that's fire, they say it's whack. And that's what's happening right now with this verse. Half of the people that say it's whack ain't even really listening to it. They just don't like Drake. And so for him to say that bar, they make excuses for you because they hate to see me lit, I think that shit is a bar that's getting slept on. That's not the hottest bar in the song, but I do think it's the most relevant bar in the song, because we're watching people do that shit in real fucking time. Uno says, like that is a better song, but it's not a diss song, it's a diss verse. Drake made a song, so Drake is up 101. I don't even like that song like that. I'm gonna be real. I think Future's verse is dope. That beat is annoying as fuck to me. I don't think that beat is fire. Kendrick's verse is hella mid, and I just feel like it's just overhyped. Is it trash? Absolutely not. but it's super overhyped. Like Kendrick. It's like Kendrick in a song format. So it's fitting that Kendrick is on that song. It's just overhyped. Like it's way overhyped. But then Drake goes on to say fucking what is the shit? I mean, to me the coldest line is the song is not even a metaphor. It's just direct lie. He said, "Metro, shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga." Like that shit. I don't know if Metro gonna live that one down, my nigga. Like anytime I hear Metro's name, I immediately think, "Shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga." Like that shit is hilarious. The way he said it, though, like the setup for it is just chef's kiss. Like, and the fact that the biggest feedback that I see about this Drake song is that it ain't no back to back. It's cool, but it ain't no back to back. Nigga, back to back is one of the greatest diss songs of our generation, maybe of all time, and that's a Drake song. So he got to make so are you saying he got to make the greatest diss song of all time every time he makes a diss song, but everybody else gets a pass? What are we talking about, y'all? Like, y'all keep pushing the goalpost for Drake when he's already proved his... Mind you, he dropped all of this shit after he just dropped a fire-ass album. Like, I think For the Dogs is fire. You may not like it, but I think For All the Dogs is fire. And even if you don't like For All the Dogs, Drake has not gone nowhere in 10 years. Every summer, this nigga is giving us at least one mega heat rock, and a lot of times way more than one, but at least one mega heat rock every summer for the last 10 years. This nigga has not gone nowhere. Then he drops Lucy's. Then he drops freestyles that, let's not forget that On the Radar freestyle that he did with Central C. That's one of the greatest. That is the greatest On the Radar freestyle. I think it's one of the greatest freestyles in the new generation that I've ever seen. And Drake ain't even from the new generation. He's not even from the new generation, and he bodied that shit. Like, how much high quality work does this nigga have to give y'all for you to give him his respect? I just don't understand it. Like, y'all act like he's fucking y'all bitches. That's like, what's going on? Like, what is up with this? I just don't get. He fundamentally changed how everybody makes music. Everybody sings and raps because they want to be like Drake. Everybody does the fucking, even though I know Big Sean came up with the flow, with the fucking, the callback flow, you know what I'm saying? Where you say, I can only think of Ludacris right now when I hear that. But this is the best example is when I fill her up, balloons, you know what I'm saying? That's a whack example. But Drake, the blessed flow. Yes, like Big Sean might have created it, but Drake took that shit to the next level. Like fucking, Drake has fundamentally changed music multiple times. Like, let's not front like dancehall wouldn't be popping in America without Drake. Let's not front like that would not be the case. Drake made Afro beats and rhythms and fucking, what are those things called? Dub plates. Drake made that shit popular in America. Like, the reason we hear Afro beats right now is because of Drake, bro. Like, y'all just don't want to give this man his credit. Like, and I'm just talking strictly about the music. Like, if I'm looking objectively at this musician and their contribution to culture and music versus this musician and their contribution to music and culture, then it's unquestionable that Drake is like, he is the guy. It's so crazy that like people just don't acknowledge that. And then like, if we're looking at it from the lens of just your contribution to culture and music, then I gotta tell Rick Ross, man, shut your whole ass up and go make some drums, nigga. Got to. I don't want to hear what Rick Ross got to say about this shit. Like, I'm gonna be very real. Like, Rick Ross come out of left field with his diss. The beat is cool, but hey, that nigga, I don't want to hear Rick Ross ever call anybody else's flow cut and paste and copy and paste, nigga. You got the most copy and paste flow I have ever heard in my life. It's not whack. It's not bad. but it's the same on every song for all time. And you really ain't really saying nothing. You're like the new Birdman who says like nonsensical shit and acts like it makes sense. And the dopest part of Rick Ross's diss tracks ain't even him rapping. It's when he's spilling the tea at the end. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the best part of Ross's diss track is him spilling the tea at the end of the track, talking about Drake getting the nose job and getting the BBL and all that shit. And the whole crux of his argument, the whole reason he hopped in the diss, isn't even because Drake dissed him. It's because Drake dissed French Montana, which is another whole ass reason to diss somebody. He didn't even diss you. He just didn't do something for French Montana that you wanted to do. Like, shut your whole ass up and go make some drums, nigga. Like, I can't with these niggas. I just really can't. Uno says Drake made French take his feature off of French's album because Drake knew French's album was gonna flop. Ain't nobody checking and Kanye executive produced it. But I think overall, it's because Drake knew it was gonna flop, because Drake has been beefing with Metro for a while, and he still put out songs with Metro even in the middle of the beef. I think if it makes sense, Drake's gonna overlook the beef, but the shit ain't hot. I ain't even heard one person say anything about French Montana's album, because ain't nobody checking for it. So for Rose to jump out the window over that just to me says that Rose has been not fucking with Drizzy for a long time, and he's just been waiting for a reason to jump out the window, and he just hasn't been fucking with Drake for a long, long time. And this is the excuse for him to jump out the window, which is fine, but nigga, do better. Do better, because that shit was just not impressive at all. And if you act like it was impressive, you lying to yourself, you lying to the universe, you know what I'm saying? And like, I think, to me, you know what this battle really signifies is just like something that I've been speculating for a very long time, is that the internet allows too many people with bad taste to have a voice. I'm sorry. Like, all of y'all with the hot takes and all of you, like, I feel like almost every nigga that's consistent, like, if you consistently post on social media and you have like a following, and your following is like, and you do the salacious titles and you do all that shit, like, I feel like there's a good chance you have terrible taste in art. Terrible taste in art. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and it's just too many people that have terrible taste, that have valued opinions, and so their takes get digested by the mainstream as like factual, when they're just really, really bad opinions. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I personally am sick of it, because there's so many people who just don't know what good music is, and people that just love controversy that are giving terrible takes. Like, you'll hear so many people say that like hip hop is back and this is what hip hop was founded on, and it's not. Like, battles and diss tracks is not what hip hop is founded on. Hip hop ain't went nowhere just because y'all have been fiending for violence and bloodshed in hip hop. That doesn't mean that it hasn't been there. That just means that y'all are bloodthirsty. That's what that means. Uno says, seems like he is. My bad. I didn't even. Oh, wait. He says, he said on one of those songs that everyone was going to turn on him like they turned on him. Hope C ready. Seems like he is. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to know. Like, Drake got that energy. I have a couple friends who like, they don't really be fucking people's bitches, but they be fucking bitches that niggas like. You know what I'm saying? And like, even though the nigga hasn't claimed her, when a nigga fucks a bitch that you like, if you are not being real with yourself, if you're not being real with yourself and saying like, well, I'm not making my move on her, like, what right do I have to be mad at this dude for making a move on her? Then you get real sensitive about it. And I think that's, to me, I feel like that's what happens with Drake. I feel like Drake is fucking a lot of chicks that these rappers want to fuck. They don't have really no claim to. and they get mad about it. Now, Drake has also probably fucked people that rappers do have a claim to, and I don't think that's right. You know what I'm saying? If you fuck somebody that's in a relationship and you know they're in a relationship and you fuck them anyways, you know the consequences of that are on you. So I've heard that he has allegedly done that as well. So I'm not talking about that side of things. But a lot of people that don't like Drake, I think he's fucked girls that they want to fuck and they feel some type of way about that shit. And it's just a weak reason to not like somebody, you know what I'm saying, in my mind. So, I mean, I think 90% of these beefs stem from Drake fucking somebody that somebody else wanted to fuck. Like, how crazy is that? That shit is nuts. This is one of the biggest hip-hop beefs of all time, and it's over vagina. Like, and everybody's excited about this shit. Like, I'm just excited for the bars when they're good, which is rare. I think Drake is the only one that's really had good bars. J. Cole had good bars, but his heart wasn't in it, so it made the overall attempt feel weak. But Drake, to me, is the one that's coming with the bars right now. He's the one to beat, you know what I'm saying? So I think that this is going to be an ongoing thing. We'll definitely continue to bring you coverage. Let us know in the comments what you think, who's winning the battle. As of now, because we definitely want to know your thoughts in the comments. You hear what the chat is saying. To me, it sounds like Drizzy is up 1 according to the chat. I would say Drizzy is up 1, and Kendrick got to come the most correct he's ever come to even be considered top 3 anymore, in my opinion, because Drake made some very valid points. Drake said, how you in the top 3 if SZA's watching you? And SZA has sold more than SZA's last album sold more than Kendrick's last album. He said Travis is watching you. Travis's last album sold more than Kendrick's last album. He said Savage is watching you. Savage's last album sold more than Kendrick's last album. And so how could Kendrick be in the top 3 if that's the case? You feel what I'm saying? Like, Drake just made so many valid factual points in a very artistic way on this diss track that is crazy to me that people even think it's close, because it's not close. Like, be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. And if you disagree with me, you need to
let that coochie breathe.
And that's gonna be it for us. Uno said, that nigga said none of you niggas is in the top 3. That part. It's me and the other 3 he named. That part. Like, and he ain't even put Cole in it. What you gonna do? Cole's last biggest record was with Drake. So, is he wrong? Is he wrong, yo? Like, this is crazy. Yo, we gonna continue to talk about it. But I also want to know, before I get out of here, I put this on my story, but I want to know, since all this aggressive battle energy is taking place in hip-hop, and usually what happens in all of hip-hop trickles down to smaller markets, do you think that this battle will inspire somebody from the coast to jump out the window and make a diss track? And if you do think that will happen, who do you think will be the first rapper to do it? And who do you think they're gonna diss? You feel what I'm saying? Who do you think the first rapper from the coast will be inspired by this to make their own diss track? And who do you think that they're gonna diss? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. And we'll talk about it this week. I hope everyone has a good night. Shout out to our sponsors, The Source. Please visit thesourceslo.com for all your cannabis needs. Make sure you download Station Head and Favor from the App Store. And most importantly, make sure you get some merch. That's the best way to support this channel so we can keep making these videos. As you see, I got this orange hoodie on to the right. This is our Lazy Sunday hoodie. And if you use the code JAY, you get 10% off of your order. So go on. CTC Radio, the only radio station committed to the coast. That's Contra Mantis out of Ventura, California. That joint is called I Existed. If you like that joint, make sure you add it to your library, as add it to your playlist. It is available on all streaming platforms, so go support them. Let's get into this world premiere of Jay Riley first. So he just dropped new music. I'm usually there. I'm usually around when songs are being created, so I've seen a lot of songs created from their inception, but this was a rare one because we were at Jay Riley's house during New Year's Eve. And he had a few people over his house, and he was just like, yo, let's record something, let's do something. And there were a bunch of people over, and so he had this beat, which I think is super fire. He made this beat I'm about to play, and people just hopped in the booth and did their thing. And at the time I wasn't in the mood to record, so I didn't make it on this song. I try not to force myself to record if I'm just not in the zone, and I wasn't in the zone at the time, so I didn't make it on the song. But a girl named Taylor, I believe her name is, she's Chad from Orchid Hills girlfriend, and she hopped on this hook, and I didn't even know she sang, and I really like what she did. I think it complemented the track, but I really love this beat, and I think Frost Dynasty just bodied his verse something so crazy. So this is called Sky. This is the world premiere. It just came out on all streaming platforms on Friday, and we have official Sky merchandise available through CTC Apparel, which is available on our website. I'll show you that a little bit later, but let's world premiere this song. This is brand new music from Jay Riley. It's called Sky, featuring Vuvu Lee, Frost Dynasty, and Sex Gold. All three of those artists from Orchid Hill. Jay Riley's from Connect the Coast. Please make sure you add this to your libraries and your playlists. We definitely need your support, and let us know what you think. This is the world premiere of Sky.
It's just you and I.
Middle finger to the sky.
And you know that you love me too.
It's just you and I.
It's just you and I. Hell yeah.
You do me right.
Do me right.
Middle finger to the sky.
And you know that you love me too.
It's just you and I.
It's just you and I.
Yeah, you do me right.
Do me right.
Worry about yourself, to me this shit is nothing new. I wanna pull myself right from the grave and show you what I'll do. I've been here 2-3
Hell
times,
yeah.
eventually another glass of wine. You've gone too far without no repercussions, I'm gonna get what.
John Mercado says that piano, I thought the same thing when I heard this shit. This piano riff is crazy, and when we do it with a live band, it sounds even crazy.
Definition down and out. You the type to hop up on a roundabout, go the wrong way and blame anyone on your route. Wait till I can call you mine, I will not hold my breath. We barely made it to the car before I took apart your dress. I put your whip on cruise control, I think I know what's coming next. We never had an argument, but I still want my makeup sex. Your eyes are filled with venom, your touch is a wicked spell. We play a dangerous game where heaven's gate can open up to hell. It's just a labyrinth of lies, and yeah, we both know it too well. This love is becoming a nightmare where only the demons dwell.
Hell yeah.
Middle finger to the sky.
John Mercado says, I'm bummed out I didn't go Saturday, but Yvette wanted to stay in town. It's all good, man. You got to do what the lady wants. You got to do what the lady wants. I get that. Happy wife, happy life. The name Uno says, Jody.
Middle finger to the sky.
Hell yeah. And you know that you love me too.
It's just you and I.
It's just you and I.
Yeah, you do me right.
Do me right.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You give it to me and I give it to you. You know what I like and I know what you don't. I be telling you yes, you be telling me no. Take it all off from me, baby, put on a show. When she rolling for me, really get what I want, but it's just not for me and it put me real low. Beeping for me, better call on the phone, but I might have to wait, I can be all one. Only thing keep me real sick.
Guns and butter, baby. Guns and butter.
Damn delectable, delectable. But it's not what I want and it's not what I need, babe. Hit me and
Hell
smoke me,
yeah.
just light me some weed. If it's all at the park, then I'm throwing the bird. If it's in the two, then it's stir and it's stir.
Mentally back when you lost, yeah. Same old check with a view. It's just me you talking
Yo,
about that
Frank
same
came
old
in
thing with you.
skating on this shit.
Got no time when it costs it. Lost all time, I'll chip my tooth.
I gotta run this nigga's
Chip,
verse back.
yeah, do what you do, do what you
Do
do.
what you do.
No,
This nigga
yeah,
came.
same old.
He came
What I
in
want and it's not what I
skating.
need, babe. Hit me and smoke me, just light me some weed. If it's all at the park, then I'm throwing the bird. If it's in the two, then it's stir and it's stir.
Mentally back when you lost, yeah. Same old check with a view. It's just me you talking about that same old thing with you. Got no time when it costs it. Lost all time, I'll chip my tooth. Chip, yeah, do what you do, do what you do. No shame, still reckon of you. Yesterday, same thing happened. It's flip flop on the suit.
Hell
Something
yeah.
I ain't never walk around. Come from shame with the blue.
Hell
I
yeah.
could've made one soft now. Yeah, live life didn't suit.
Middle finger to the sky.
That verse is
You know
crazy.
that you love me too.
It's just you and I.
It's just you and I.
Yeah, you do me right.
Do me right.
Middle finger to the sky.
Hell yeah. You know that you love me too.
It's just you and I.
It's just you and I.
Yeah, you do me right.
Do me right.
Oh yeah.
Ay, can I shout out all my friends who got lucky enough to be in the same time and place that I am?
Hell yeah.
Celebrating everything, I don't care where it is saying. All my homies sipping pain, we ain't stressing nothing. My brothers and my cousins, we fucking up the function when we doing all the things we love to do. Ay, fuck with me, I fuck with you. Baby, I got love for you, love for you, love for you. I'm loving you. Ay, I just wanna feel amazing, feel like I don't need no saving, feel like I got everything and even more.
Hell yeah.
Santa at my door, like every single day. Whatever you say don't matter anymore. Do it for my Orchid Hill family.
Oh no, says she's sliding on the hook. I wish they just kept her dolo.
Don't give a fuck if
I don't even know what to say about it.
I do it for my Orchid Hill family.
Hell yeah.
That's a world premiere. Jay Riley, it's called Sky. That's the extended version. He also put out a version that's just him by himself. But the extended version features Vuvu Lee, Frost Dynasty, Taylor, Sex Gold. So make sure you check that out. If you like it, add it to your libraries, add it to your playlist. It just came out. And hit the like button. What I realized is on Spotify, if you're a Spotify listener, you have to hit that little plus button. You know what I'm saying? That's what matters the most. It doesn't really help if you just go listen to the song. That's cool if you do that, and we'll take that. But you need to hit that plus button and save the song. That's what really, really helps us out. And then if you really like it and you're so inclined, then share it on your stories, share it on your social media, because that is the kicker right there. That actually really, really helps us out. So once again, that's Jay Riley. It's called Sky, featuring Vuvu Lee, Frost Dynasty, and Sex Gold, CTC Radio. That's the world premiere. And we have official Sky merch, not just for the guys, but for the ladies too. And you can listen to the full song on our website. So you can tap the link in our bio and make sure you support Jay Riley. Get Sky merch. We have t-shirts. We have unisex t-shirts, women's tank tops, and unisex crew necks. And you can listen to the full song via Spotify. Since I'm here, you also should know that we released a song 2 weeks ago called actually not 2 weeks ago. We released a song also last Friday called The Cypher, which features Jay Riley, Shorty Duwop, and myself. That's also available now on all streaming platforms. And we also have the Cypher merch available through CTC Apparel. And you can listen to the full Cypher song through Apple Music on the website as well. So it's a lot of stuff going on the website. I suggest you check it weekly, check it daily, because it's constantly changing. We're constantly adding new stuff. John Mercado says, I like the Cypher. I had no doubts that you did like the Cypher, man. You a real one like that.
Hell yeah.
And we appreciate that. So thank you. The Cypher is going crazy. I think actually because of the Cypher, a couple of our other songs have been getting added to Spotify playlists, which is really boosting our profile, which I love, and I'll take that. So thank you for your support. All of that comes from you out there, and that really, really matters and helps us, and we're appreciative because you are making a difference, whether you feel like you are or not. When you do those things, it makes a huge difference. So thank you. I'm gonna play one or two more songs, then we're gonna go troll hunting, then we're gonna talk about this Drake shit, because that's gonna be the longest conversation, and then if there's time, we'll scroll the feed.